What's up guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coverage video. Today we're looking, or I'm looking technically, sort of thinking about if the Elite Four of the Hoenn region in the remakes get some Mega Evolutions, what might these Mega Evolutions be? Now obviously we're looking at one Mega Evolutions we already have, and then we'll be sort of semi-speculating about new Mega Evolutions that may be introduced. I'll be making a separate video on Mega Evolutions that could be brought in the future, because this one we're just looking at a few that might be put in for the Elite Four members. Obviously here we are assuming that all the Elite Four here are going to be sort of put back into the remakes. There's going to be no changes in the roster. I will most probably make a video in the future talking about maybe there will be some changes to the roster. You know, which Elite Four members we have, especially if it's a sort of a different game in some respect. But yeah, so guys, let's have a look. Obviously the Elite Four we have are Sydney, Phoebe, Glacia and Drake. Sydney the Dark type user, Phoebe the Ghost type user, Glacia the Ice type user, and Drake the Dragon type user, the four members of the Elite Four for Hoenn there. So obviously we're starting off with Sydney, so let's go and look at him. As I already mentioned, Sydney is a Dark type user. Now his team consists of a Mightyena, a Shiftry, a Cacturne. In Ruby and Sapphire it's a Sharpedo next, in Emerald it's a Crawdaunt, and then finally Absol. So obviously the only Pokemon out of these to have Mega Evolution already is Mega Absol, and obviously Mega Absol is his ace anyway, so we could assume straight off the bat it could be Mega Absol, because that would seem the most logical choice. But we also have to think out possibly new Mega Evolutions might be introduced in Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It's always a possibility. So looking at the other members of the team he has Mightyena, but I doubt Mightyena's going to get a Mega Evolution because it's sort of parallel to the ones you get right at the start of the game, so I doubt he's going to get Mega Evolution. Shiftry, however, is a big possibility for a Mega Evolution since it's pretty powerful, and you know, a good boost to it would be cool. So a Shiftry Mega Evolution, I'm guessing, would be a Grass Dark still. Obviously they really still need to be a Dark type when they Mega Evolve, otherwise it's kind of defeats the point of him being a Dark type ace or Dark type user, because of the fact that sort of, you know, he's going to use Dark types, so I guess in some sense he's got to have a Mega Evolution that's also a Dark type. So we're guessing Shiftry would stay Grass Dark type, maybe change from Grass to another type, maybe like Rock Dark, because he's sort of, at least in this Mega Evolution picture here, he looks sort of more bulky. But you know, it's just ideas come off my head there. Next up we have Cacturne. I'm really excited to see if we get a Cacturne Mega Evolution, because Cacturne, I think, at least with the art I've chosen here, has a really cool Mega Evolution, or could have a really cool Mega Evolution, being based on a cactus. It could gain some more spikes. You guys know how much I love spikes, and stuff like that. And especially this art here, I quite like it a lot. Again, we're assuming it'd be staying Grass Dark, or you know, being Grass Dark still. Otherwise, it would defeat the purpose. So we can assume that's there. If they give him a Sharpedo in the Ruby and Sapphire remakes rather than a Crawdaunt, we could see a Mega Sharpedo come into play here. Mega Sharpedo would be pretty interesting to see how they sort of work that. You know, again, assuming it's still going to be a Water Dark type, we don't really know there. The other possibility there is obviously a Mega Crawdaunt, because Crawdaunt was used in Emerald, and if we assume that Ruby and Sapphire remakes are going to be more of an Emeraldy mix rather than just pure Ruby and Sapphire, because of the fact that Emerald was sort of updated version of the game, made things a bit better. I'm guessing because you saw Sharpedo all the time with Team Aqua and such, that they thought, you know, maybe add Crawdaunt in instead, because people are getting tired of saying a Sharpedo all the damn time. And then finally we sort of move on to Mega Absol here. As I said, the clearest choice, the most obvious choice for a Mega Evolution for Sydney, because of the fact that it's his ace, it's his highest level Pokemon, it's a Hoenn Pokemon as well, so it would make sense for it to be an Absol, really, in my opinion. So if they're going to use Mega Evolutions, I would highly predict that it would be a Mega Absol that Sydney would have. Obviously there are other possibilities, and that's why we look at them just then. Moving on to the second member of the Hoenn Elite Four, we have Phoebe, the Ghost type user. So Phoebe's team consists of, it's actually a very basic team. She has 2 Dusclops, a Sableye and 2 Banette, so a very sort of a not varied team as such. The thing is, obviously back in this generation there weren't a huge varied amount of Ghost types, plus I don't think the Gassy, Haunted Gengar line were actually in the Hoenn decks, but we could see the Hoenn decks being expanded a fair bit in generation, or in the remakes rather, and we could see that the Elite Four teams being changed up a bit. I will probably make another video on that in the future as well, talking about how their teams are going to change, what new additions we may see on the team, what, you know, other stuff, maybe aces changing around, stuff like that, so I'll probably make a video on that in the future. But for now, yes, she has 2 Dusclops, 2 Banette and a Sableye. I'm assuming if she keeps one of the Dusclops, it's going to become a Dusknoir, because that would only make sense. Dusknoir obviously wasn't around in Generation 3, so to have a Dusknoir instead of a Dusclops would make a lot of sense, at least in my opinion. So then we have, you know, sort of three different possibilities for a Mega there. We have Dusknoir, we have Sableye, and we also have Banette. Banette already has a Mega, as you all know, so that again seems like the biggest choice, the most likely choice, especially since it's also her ace again. But we also could have a Mega Dusknoir, which would look pretty cool, especially in the art I've chosen here, some sort of crazy red beaming eye or something. And then maybe Mega Sableye as well. There's always the possibility. People didn't ask for Mega Sableye as well. People asked for what Mega was it? Or an evolution? Was it for Sableye? It might have been for Sableye. Obviously, Sableye hasn't got a Mega yet, but Sableye is very much linked to Ruby and Sapphire, having a Ruby in its chest and a Sapphire in its back, so it could definitely sort of be introduced in the remix there as a new Mega Evolution. There's a possibility there. I'm guessing it would keep its Ghost Dark type, so it would be allowed on Phoebe's team as a Mega. But as I mentioned just now, Mega Banette is probably the most likely choice because it was her ace in Generation 3, so it's most likely just going to get a Mega Evolution. If, of course, they have Mega Evolutions, but there's no guarantee they are going to end up with Mega Evolutions on their teams, of course. So, if we move on to the third Elite Four member for Hoenn, we have Glacia, the Ice-type user. Again, similar to Phoebe, her team is very much not varied at all. She has 2 Glalie, 2 Celio, and a Walrein. I think that's pretty much her team. Which is terrible of the game. I mean, there weren't many ice types around at this point as well, so again, in another video I'll make about roster changes and stuff, we will definitely be seeing some stuff there about, stuff like that. Oh, again, as I said, make a video about roster changes and stuff like that. So, possibilities for a Mega here. Walrein is her ace, so that would be the most likely choice for Mega in my opinion, but they could maybe think, if they didn't want to give Walrein a Mega Evolution, they could give Glalie a Mega Evolution, and Mega Evolution of Glalie would look pretty cool, especially if they then tied it in with Mega Evolution of Frostlass, because then that would sort of work in that sense. But a Mega Glalie would look pretty cool, as the art I've chosen here looks awesome. It would become an Ice Rock type, in my opinion, or maybe an Ice Dark type. Wow, this is terrible with me. An Ice Dark type, because at least with the design we're looking at here, Ice Rock or Ice Dark would be my choice for Glalie. Dark because of the blackness that's on it already, and Rock because it sort of looks like a rock, an icy rock in some sense. But it would certainly be allowed on Glacia's team if it got a Mega Evolution. But as I said, I think Walrein's probably more likely if they're all going to get Megas, unless they just add in the Bomber Snow as their ace and use Mega Bomber Snow there. That's also a possibility. But Mega Walrein would look pretty darn cool, I think. Bigger tusks, more teeth. As you can see, it only has the 2 tusks there in its original artwork, whereas the Mega Evolution I've chosen here has the 2 tusks and loads of teeth as well. Its eyes have gone red to show, I guess, being powered up. Its mane has grown a lot larger too, and its body has generally gotten a bit bigger. So I think Mega Walrein would be pretty cool. I'm guessing it would stay a Water Ice type because it's a walrus, so it can't really change around too much in that sense. But yeah, I think the only 2 options here for Megas of Glacia are Glalie or Walrein here. Obviously, when I talk about the roster changes, possibly adding some new ice types to Glalie's team, to Glacia's team, then we could talk about different Mega Evolutions for that too. But for the moment, it's just Glalie or Walrein, in my opinion. And finally, if we lead on to the last member of the Hoenn Elite Four, we have Drake, the Dragon-type Master. Very similar to Lance, but it's Drake. So Drake's team actually consists of, he has a Shelgon in both games, Altaria in both games. In Ruby and Sapphire, he has 2 Flygon, but in Emerald he gains a Kingdra instead of 1 Flygon, which is fair enough. And then finally his ace is Salamence. Now, none of these Pokemon have Mega Evolutions yet, so Drake and Glacia are ones without Mega Evolution. They don't have any possible Megas on their team, so either they're going to have to give them a Pokemon that's got a Mega Evolution. I'm not sure what Dragon type has a Mega Evolution, to be honest. I can't remember anything. But certainly, for Glacia, obviously it's the Bomber Snow, stuff like that. Or they would have to have a new evolution now, new Mega Evolution. Obviously, Shelgon is not going to get a Mega Evolution. We know that. But we could have Altaria gain a Mega Evolution. That would be pretty cool. It's Dragon Flying at the moment, but it could become something like Dragon Fairy. Dragon Fairy is my preferred choice for Mega Altaria, especially because it gets Moonblast at level 60. That would be very helpful indeed. But I think a Mega Altaria would be pretty cool as well. I don't think it's likely for Drake's team at least, because of the fact that it's not one of his most powerful Pokemon. And well, it was introduced in Hoenn, but it's not a main Dragon player in Hoenn. Next up we have, obviously, Flygon. Loads of people want Mega Flygon. I think Mega Flygon would be pretty cool. I'm not sure how cool, but it'd be reasonably cool. And obviously, since it's in Ruby and Sapphire, it was 2 of his team, it's again sort of a possibility there that we could get a Mega Flygon for Drake, and I think it would look pretty cool overall. What type it would be? Maybe not Dragon Ground anymore, maybe Dragon Dark. because, well, at least looking at the design I have here, maybe Dragon Dark, or maybe just go to a pure Dragon type to lose the 4 times Ice weakness or something like that, or maybe Dragon, I don't know, Dragon Fire. I don't know, I'm making stuff up. Dragon Fire with Levitate, or something along those lines. Finally then, we also have Kingdra. I've put Kingdra, I haven't put a Mega for Kingdra here, mainly because Kingdra was not introduced in Generation 3, it's a Generation 2 Pokemon, so the chances of actually getting Mega Evolution are less likely than some of the others, so I haven't chosen to include Kingdra. Obviously, it's a possibility Kingdra could get a Mega Evolution, but it's just less likely than the others. And then last up, obviously, you have Salamence, his ace, so again, the most likely candidate for a Mega Evolution, especially because it's almost also Salamence, and we can see here Salamence, the art I've chosen for Mega Salamence is pretty darn badass as well, and I'm liking the design. Gets in this art, it gets slightly darker skin, and its wings become more formed and actually used for flying, whereas normal Salamence looks like he couldn't use his wings for shit apart from maybe flattening some stuff down, you know, pushing some air around, something like that. But I think Mega Salamence would look pretty cool. Maybe, I'm guessing it would keep the Dragon Flying type, especially if it gains some bigger, better wings, but maybe Dragon Flying type with a resistance with thick fat maybe, or something along those lines. I think that would be pretty cool to see. But yes, that's it, all 4 of the Hoenn Elite Four members covered. I'm going to be doing a separate video on the champion and the champion possibilities and stuff like that, and obviously I talk about the Megas in there. As I said, I'm doing a separate video on the Hoenn team rosters, if any of the rosters are going to get changed around. I also said I was going to do another video on all the different Mega Evolutions we could see coming, so you guys got all of them to look forward to. What do you want me to make next? Just put in the comments below. Do you want me to make the video about the champions next? Do you want to make the video about all the possible Mega Evolutions I think we could have next? Or do you want the one about the team rosters changing around and stuff like that next? Let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know what you think about the possibility of the Hoenn Elite Four members having Megas. Do you think they should have Megas to sort of make it a bit more challenging? Do you think they are going to make them? And if yes, what Megas do you think we'll get, especially for Drake and Glacia, who we haven't actually had any Megas for yet? Do you think they're going to add some new Megas for that? Or do you think they're just going to put them across the ones they've already got? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. And I think that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Smash the like button. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.